because of time, I'm just going to jump right in. I have something burning in my heart. Normally, I would say, "Oh, well, we're good," but I have something that I just want to share. So you're going to take. You said you prophesied 3 hours. Okay, so at least. No. I want you to turn to Psalm 130. Psalm 130. And I have a thought, something just burning. The Lord just, and I want to talk to you about redemption, about the Redeemer and redemption. I want to give you a thought. I want to lay some truth bombs. I mean, literally, and I have to say this, okay? As I was preparing this and stuff, there was a couple times I put my head down and literally broke down and wept as God just started revealing His redemptive, the way He thinks towards us, and so if you just give me a couple minutes, it's just burning in my heart because I know it's a word from the Lord. Psalm 130 verses 7 and 8. Psalm 130 verses 7 and 8. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with Him is full redemption. Say that, full redemption. Put the next verse up there. He Himself will redeem Israel from all their sins. In the Lord, there's full redemption. Just real quickly, the ESV says plentiful redemption. The NLT says His redemption overflows. The CSB, which is Christian Standard Bible, reads redemption in abundance. And of course, the Passion says, He is tender-hearted, kind, and forgiving, and has 1,000 ways to set you free.
So good.
I want to talk to you about this word redemption, okay? I think I misunderstood it a bit because of my culture and all, because when I was a kid, my mom used to redeem green stamps, okay? Now, you see, now... Yeah, we used to go down and get, anybody know those? We used to go down to the green stamp place and get, she used to bring in the stamps and we used to get stuff. Okay? Your mom told you about those. I want to have an understanding of this, okay? This is just something of the Lord, okay? I want to make sure I get it right, so some of it I'm going to read, but I don't want to read it to you, but I want you to get this right, okay? In the Hebrew, the idea of fullness or abundance, okay, the word full redemption, that word full, abundance, overflowing, that word full, the idea of fullness or abundance comes from the Hebrew word, which is a picture, okay? Hebrew is written in pictures, okay? So in this psalm, I want you to concentrate just on those two words, full redemption. Full redemption. This is the word for us. The first word is full. It has two pictures in the Hebrew. It's a picture of the head of a family, okay, or a tribe, okay? It's the head, and he is there, and everything that accesses the head, as the leader of the tribe, he has access to everything that the tribe owns and everything that the tribe is. He has access. So when it says, in Him is full redemption, I want you to picture that it's not just, oh, well, He fills it. He is the head of the tribe, the family. You knock and you talk to the patriarch, you talk to the leader of the clan, and the clan not only says, I'll help you, but all of the resources that he has behind him is also included in the help. It's not like, oh, it's just my house, oh, yeah, I got a few dollars. No, I have access to everything the family owns, everything the family does, all that is this, and they've given me covenantally the right to speak for them as their head. So all of my resources and all that my family and my clan and my tribe and everyone I influence over, all that they have is also yours. So it says here, Israel, put your hope in who? In who?
The Lord.
The Lord, Yahweh. Put your hope in Jehovah, depending on how it is. That for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with Him as the head Literally Yahweh means the full-breasted one, the one who is unlimited in supply and resource. Everything that God has. Everything that God has, all that He represents, all that is His in abundance, He says, I'm going to give you. That's what's backing up. He says, I want to redeem you, but I'm going to come with you with all of the resources of my heaven, and everything that I am, everything I have is yours.
So good.
It's full. Don't sell God short. Don't let the enemy lie to you that he's puny and unable to come and do what we need him to do for us. Don't let the enemy lie that our God is dead, or he's failed, or he's fallen short, or he can't, or he doesn't have the resources, or he's stingy-handed and he's holding back the very thing that we need. Don't let the enemy lie. He is the Lord and Lord. We said it already, King of Kings, and everything and all the resources that He is, all of heaven, is ours. Full. But in this case, He's a full redemption. In classical, I wrote this down, so let me say it the right way. In Hebrew theology, to this day, okay, not Western theology, but in Hebrew theology, which the way that Psalm was written, remember, and it was interpreted and understood through the rabbis, okay? So in Hebrew theology, they believe, okay, that God does only three things. Everything God does is one of three unique actions, okay? That He creates, He reveals, and He redeems. Okay? To the Jew, reading Psalm 130, written by a Jew, it's understanding that God only does three things, okay? God creates, He redeems, okay? He creates, He reveals. Creation, revelation, and redemption. You have three things. Everything God does, but also they understood that God was eternal. Okay, so the theology that they had was that God does not do something. He transcends history. So everything, now follow me, this is very, very important for you and I, okay? Everything God does transcends history. So God does three things. He creates, okay? He reveals, and He redeems, all at the same time. In other words, everything was created to be redeemed. Everything God created is to be redeemed. He never creates apart from redemption, because the beginning and the end before Him is all at the same time. So what God creates, He redeems, and in the process, He reveals Himself. So He creates to reveal Himself and to bring all things into restoration and redemption. It is God's will to bring you into full redemption. I'm going to define redemption here. Okay, but it is God's will to redeem you, okay? So God creates everything to be redeemable. And everything God is and does is redemption. The word for redeem in the Hebrew is a picture of an open mouth and a door. An open mouth and a door. And it literally means, combined, it means redemption is open the door. That's the literal translation of the word redeem, to open the door. And the idea is this, that when you came to be redeemed, when they showed up with the stamps, when God shows up with His stamps, stamped by His blood, okay, to get you out of captivity and wherever you are, to come and bring redemption to your life, He comes and He says, put your clothes on, you're leaving here. You're no longer staying where you are. And the idea was this, to the Hebrew, when they heard redeem, it means not only were they going to be set free, but they're going to be brought back to where they originally were. Now watch. Jesus come on the cross to redeem us out of ourselves. There's so many verses, time, I could go through there. There's 25 verses that talk about redemption, that He redeemed us, He redeems us, He buys us. In fact, let me just give you a few of them real quick. I got so many, but Job 19:25, I know that my Redeemer lives. Psalm 19:4, you are my rock and my Redeemer. Psalm 78:35, that the Most High is my Redeemer. Isaiah 41:14, do not be afraid. Little Israel, do not fear. I myself will help you, your Redeemer. I am your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. On and on and on. I got 5 pages of words that talk about Psalm 59:20. The Redeemer will come from Zion. You will drink, Psalm 60 verse 16, you will drink by the milk of nations and be nursed at royal breast. Then you will know that I am the Lord, your Savior, your Redeemer. On and on and on. Isaiah 63:16, you are a Father. You are the Lord, our Father, our Redeemer. It goes on, going into the New Testament. Going in the New Testament, Galatians 4, verse 4 and 5. But when just at the right time, God sent His Son, born of a woman, born of the law, to redeem those under the law, that we might receive the adoption to sonship. Every time we see that word redeem, the idea is this, that God has come to take you out of where you are, to take you through the door of redemption, and to restore you back to the place that you were originally intended to be, which is a relationship with the Father in Father's house that Adam had before sin came into the world. He came to redeem you, not just to pull you out of your mess so that you can flounder in another mess. He came to redeem you. He says, put your clothes on, let's get ready to go, because we're leaving this place and I'm taking you home. I'm taking you home. He's our Redeemer. That was all good. But what broke me was this. The word Redeemer in the Hebrew. Okay, it doesn't matter what the word is. It's Goel and all that stuff. Okay. But it's a person, a Redeemer is a person, biblically, who, or as the nearest relative of someone, is charged with a duty. Okay? The Redeemer is someone who is not from the outside, who is related to us and covenantally bound and already committed themselves for redemption. You don't have to convince them to redeem. They've been covenantally bound because of who they are relationally to us, to redeem us. So it says, so I wrote this down. It's a person as nearest relative of someone is charged with the duty because of the covenantal prior existence of obligation. They've already covenanted it to it. And so we don't convince them. They're just basically saying, call on me and I'll answer you. Whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be covenantally bound already to bring redemption to us. Covenantally bound. I'm going to show you this in a minute. And restores that person's rights. Okay? This is what the Redeemer does. They restore the person who is bound. He restores their rights and avenges all the wrongs done to him or her. He not only restores our rights, but He, through justice, avenges all the wrongs done to us. It's a twofold thing. Redemption isn't just getting you out of jail. Redemption is bringing you back home and restoring everything that was lost. Job said, in the midst of his pain, I know my Redeemer lives. So now, give me 5 more minutes. I started thinking, where is the Redeemer in the Bible? Where is the Redeemer? And I went to the story of Ruth. Ruth attaches herself to Naomi. She lost her husband. She lost everything. She's a foreigner. She has no rights in the land whatsoever. She has nothing to say. She has nothing. And Naomi has lost everything. In fact, Naomi's name means pleasant. And when she comes home, they said, Naomi's come home after losing everything. And she comes back to Bethlehem. She shows up, and Naomi says, don't call me pleasant anymore. Call me Mara, which means bitter. I'm bitter. Some of us know what that's like. Some of us know what it's like to lose everything, and we get bitter. We get bitter towards people. We get bitter towards circumstances. We get hope deferred, and we even get bitter towards God. There's Naomi. She's come home because she can no longer stay in Moab. She's coming home, but she's bitter. She has nothing. She has no rights. She has land that is hers, but she can't even redeem the land because she doesn't have a husband to do it. And the laws in Israel were that she did not have a right. As a widow, without the covering, she had no right to redeem anything. She felt barren. She felt childless. She's lost her sons. She's lost everything. And she comes home, call me bitter. And she's got this girl by the name of Ruth who comes with her, that attaches herself to her, and they show up here, and they show up in Bethlehem at that time, and it's the barley harvest. And so the way the laws were in the Old Testament, if you read through Leviticus, if you remember, when they did the harvest, they weren't allowed to harvest the edges. They allowed the seed to be there so that they could go. So Ruth goes as a poor, barren woman, lost everything. She goes to glean on the side of a field, and she shows up at the field of Boaz. And when she goes home, she has so much stuff that Naomi goes, what happened, daughter? How come you brought so much home? And she said, well, I went to this field. And I love the way it reads in the Bible, because it says it just happened. You know what? It did happen that way because Ruth had no interior motives. She had no idea who Boaz was. So she showed up at the field. We can say, oh, she was led by God and all that kind of stuff. She stumbled into this place. She didn't have it planned. Naomi didn't go, hey, there's 3 different places you should go. These are the ones. And they didn't manipulate themselves into this. She shows up. She comes back. She says, oh, that's good. Stay at that field because, and this is where the word comes in. Naomi says, because Boaz happens to be one of our kinsman redeemers. In other words, you went to the right field, daughter, because he is covenantally bound by his position as a man to take care of us. So the story goes on, and they do these things, and they bring stuff home, and Boaz is nice to her, and all this stuff, and it can be all romantic, and all the different stuff, and all the stories, everybody, and everything. But she shows up, so Naomi goes, well, this is what you got to do. In order for us to get redeemed, you're going to have to take a risk. You're going to have to lay everything down, and you're going to have to go out at night, and you're going to have to put yourself in a vulnerable place where you may get rejected. You're going to have to put yourself, and I want you to go to the threshing floor, and I want you to find Boaz in the night. Now, this was all done on the up and up. This wasn't some weird, sexy thing or anything, and it wasn't done in a wrong manner. This was done very covenantally, very clean, and it was all part of their culture. He said, go and lay at his feet while he's laying there at night. Lay there and just see what he'll do. And this is the part that got me. She's laying there, and it says, in the night, she's startled. Right? I don't have any of that written down. She's startled. He's startled, and he notices a woman at his feet. And he says, who are you? And she says, I'm Ruth, the Moabitess. Now watch. She's not Israel. She's not an Israelite. He's not covenantally bound to her because maybe by marriage, but not because of her position as a Moabite. She has nothing, and he says to her, she says, will you, here I am, and he says he took the corner. This is what, I got this written down. It just rocked me. Where'd I go? I got it here somewhere. 1,000 things. Okay, Ruth, verse 3, chapter 3, verse 9. Chapter 3, verse 9. Ruth 3:9. Who are you, he asked. I am your servant Ruth, she said. Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family. And Boaz takes the corner of his garment. Many believe this is a picture or a type of Jesus and the woman who presses through the crowd with an issue of blood. And she comes and she gets underneath. She touches the edge of his garment, the prayer shawl. They believe this was Boaz's prayer shawl. It was where the promises and all the everything that God had promised him and everything he was. He bore that as a man. And as he spreads the corner of his garment, like the woman with the issue of blood, reaches out and touches the edge of the garment, suddenly the Redeemer, everything that Boaz owned and was and represented, came and covered Ruth and said, I will do everything in my power. There's one who's closer that needs to do this, but I will do everything to make sure that you get taken care of. Instantaneously. The woman comes with the issue of blood. She comes, she reaches through the crowd, she presses through, she breaks all protocol, she's bleeding out in the open, she's breaking the quote-unquote Old Testament law because she's unclean. All these things, she comes up underneath, she touches the hedge of his garment, she comes up underneath, and because Jesus is covenantally bound to release everything that the Father had in him, she instantly finds healing and life, and when he says to her, she comes trembling and said, it's me. He says, go, daughter, your faith has healed you because everything that is mine in heaven has now become yours. This is redemption. This is redemption. When we call upon the name of the Lord, He'll save us. And will not God, who hears us day and night, answer those who cry out to Him day and night, as the Scripture says? Listen, Jesus was teaching on prayer. He said that He told them, if you simply ask anything in my name, and my Father is covenantally bound. Why? Because the Redeemer is covenantally bound to release everything they have and own and has ever gained. Jesus said, all things have been given to me by my Father. All things in heaven and earth. I've been given everything. He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's all. And as we come up underneath the shawl of His covering, all of heaven is released into our lives. Our Redeemer lives. Our Redeemer lives. Some of us need to know that today. Because of time, just quickly, some of you need to allow yourselves to be redeemed. To trust Him that He's got you. We had the soul care group up here. And every inner healing, every pain, every wound inside of us, Jesus is already covenantally bound to bring healing and restoration and hope. Physical disease and sickness and all, He's covenantally bound to heal us and deliver us and to set us free. He's come to set the captives free. Jesus Christ, same yesterday, today, forever. Everything He is, all of heaven's resources and supply are already ours. He's bound Himself covenantally as the head. And it says in Ephesians that Jesus is not just Lord of Lords, King of Kings. He is the head of the church concerning all things that concern us. Whew, think of that. As the head, He's already covenantally bound. It's already said yes to all we ask. So Jesus said, if you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more my Heavenly Father give to those who ask? Just ask me. Ask anything in my name and I'll give it to you. I'm here for you. I'm there. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to lead you. I'm covenantally bound. Why? Because our Redeemer lives. Our Redeemer lives. He has promised us redemption. He didn't just buy you back and sick you over and say, okay, figure it out yourself. He said, no, I'm going to actively pour out all that I am into all that you are. Redemption. Redemption. Some of us need a Redeemer today. You may be saved. You have that redemption. But some of us need to have the revelation of it. Some of us need to quit listening to the lies of the enemy that we're full of shame and we're no good and we can't make it. Some of us need to quit listening to the lies that your problem is bigger than God And your circumstances, He's not able to reach into. He may touch the person sitting next to you, and He may heal them over there, but you're too far gone. You're too this or too this. He is covenantally bound to make sure that you come into full redemption. Full redemption. That's what our word says. Full redemption. Everything He's got is yours. Stand with me. I don't know what your circumstances are, but some of you may be going through some stuff. I put my head down. I was studying this, and it just dawned on me. One of the things I appreciated last week, Michael, in your message is what you said was great, but you said it out of a place of brokenness. I appreciate your heart. The brokenness in your heart. We come in sometimes, we tell God, I got this. I got this. Well, I want you to know I don't got this. I don't know if that's good English, but I don't got this. I don't have it. I need a Redeemer. I felt like Ruth. I sell out everything. And yet here I am gleaning on the side of the barley field, barely getting by. But this week I came and I just got by His feet. And I said, would you spread your garment over me? Would you do what I can't do for me? I need your help. I need your provision. I need your encouragement. I need your word. I need something from you now. And He looked at me like Boaz and He said, stay here until morning. As soon as the sun comes up, I'll take care of this. I'll do everything in my power because I'm your kinsman redeemer. I want you to know today, no matter how much it hurts, God's got you. He knows. He knows what's going on inside of you. He knows you may feel like you're out of control. You may feel like you come into church and you make promises you'll never do it again, and you just constantly fall flat on your face with sin and all kinds of junk and fears and all stuff that just seem to control. I want you to know there's a kinsman redeemer putting his shawl over top of you today. And you know what? Just keep coming because the bleeding will stop. He's your healer. He's your deliverer. Maybe you're here today and your needs just seem so overwhelming and you wonder if He can do it. Well, our superabundant Redeemer who's capable has all the resources of heaven to supply, to give, to care for. You say, well, my sickness is too far gone. There's nothing anyone can do physically. There's not a doctor, there's not a medication or anything. You know what? We have a great physician who knows our needs. He puts His covering over you. I want you to know your Redeemer lives. Your Redeemer lives. Jesus said, even in the end time people, when it gets really bad and you feel like everything's gone crazy and everything, what did He say? Jesus' own words. But just look up, for your redemption draws nigh. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. As we close out, I believe there's a few here that just need to respond and say, I want to come up underneath that covering. I'm in a situation, I'm in a thing, and I need the hem of His garment over top of me. I need that. I'm going to ask you to slip from where you are and just come and stand here. And you're in a spot where you just need, if that's you, just come real quickly and just come and just say, you know what, I need to know His healing power. I need to know His grace. I need to know. This isn't just about salvation. This is about your need, your problem, your situation. He's going to come and spread His garment over you. We're going to pray that the garment of the Lord, that you'll tangibly know that the garment of the Lord has been spread over top of your situation and your need. If there's others. I know there's some others. Just stir. Just come on. Just come on. we'll be long, we'll be out eating lunch soon, and it'll all be whatever, but we need Him. We need Him. The spread of His garment over top of us. I think there's a couple more, just a couple more. My heart just knows there's others that just, you're in that spot. You trust God, but you just need to know that garment is over top of you. Just come and stand. We're going to believe that there's going to be a special grace released in this place right now. The garment of the Lord will be spread over you. It's a garment of healing, of deliverance. It's a garment of life.